Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Game and a Chair brought to you by the American Civil War Gaming Club. My name is Blake. I am the host here on this show. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about some more optional rules. And I wanted to cover these just one at a time. But today, I'm going to do something a little bit different because there's two of these that they just go hand in hand. And that is Quality Modifiers and Quality Fire Modifiers. Both of these, they're just too similar not to do at the same time. So what exactly do these do? Well, when you go to the user's manual, it will tell you that if you select Quality Fire Modifiers, that units with a quality rating of A or B will have a 10% modifier added to their fire value. Conversely, units with a rating of E or F will have a 10% modifier subtracted from their fire value. And this only applies to non-artillery units, so infantry and cavalry. Now, Quality Modifiers basically does the same exact thing. High-rated units of A or B get a 10% modifier in their favor, while low-quality units with an E or an F rating have a 10% modifier against them. And you might be wondering what the justification is for these two optional rules. Well, WDS came out in their users notes and they told you. The rule is meant to reflect the more efficient and higher rate of fire that higher quality units were capable of, and the corresponding lower rate of fire that lower quality units generally had. And it goes on a little bit here, but it's pretty easy to understand their rationale behind these two rules. Basically, veterans get respect. Units like these have earned that 10% modifier in these games, and these optional rules give them that bonus. Whereas on the other side, these bad units, they get no respect at all. They haven't earned it. They're units that are local defense battalions or freshly raised 90-day regiments. They just don't have that same ability that veteran units do, and therefore they get docked that 10% modifier. So it's pretty easy to understand, I think, why these optional rules exist. But there are still some people out there that don't like these rules. Specifically, I hear these rules help the rebels too much. So I'm going to address that right now. If you completely disagree with me, feel free to hit stop. But I'm going to show you why that statement is just false. And I'm going to use these three battles. I just wanted one from 1862, 63, and 64. So let's start with the Battle of Stones River, and let's really examine what these modifiers really do and how they can affect things. Overall, you can see the total infantry for the two sides at the Battle of Stones River. There are 6,640 high-quality Federals in this battle and 11,834 high-quality Confederates. And there's the average quality units and low-quality units. So nobody here is getting docked a negative 10% modifier. Everyone is a D rating or higher. Altogether, there is an 11,000 man difference between the Federals and the Confederates in this battle. So remember, if you're a high quality unit with this modifier, you get a 10% bonus when you are firing or when you are in a melee. So if you take that into consideration, I'm going to switch these numbers, the high quality numbers, and we're going to add 10% to both of those. Ready? And also the total infantry numbers are going to change. Ready? There you go. So they went up 10%, and we had originally an 11,000 man difference. Now when you get that 10% bonus for fire combat and melee, the difference now is 10,494, a difference of 519 men. When you add those 10% modifiers, yeah, those guys are going to fire a little bit better, and they're going to be a little bit better in a melee. They're veteran units. They've earned it. It doesn't really add up when you start to look at the numbers. Let's keep going. the Battle of Gettysburg. 73,375 for the Federals and 57,691 for the Confederates. Here are the high quality units for both sides, the average quality unit for both sides, and the low quality units for both sides. Altogether, there's a 15,684 man difference at the Battle of Gettysburg as far as infantry goes. Now, remember, we got to add 10% to the high quality units, and we're going to subtract 10% from the low quality units on the Federal side. So these numbers here, they're going to change a little bit in a moment, and you're going to see what happens. There you go. So originally we had a 15,684 man difference. With all these modifiers here in place, what happens? It drops to a 13,916 man difference, which means with these optional rules, the Confederates, you could argue, gained 1,768 men as far as fire quality and melee quality goes, about a brigade's worth. Now, one more example I want to do, because I hear this one a lot, and that is the Battle of the Wilderness and the Confederate Supermen that fight at the Battle of the Wilderness. So let's actually look at it. There is 99,615 Federal infantry and 47,243 Confederate infantry. Now here's the fun part. If you're defining a Superman as someone with an A or B rating in this battle, check it out. What? Yeah, did you know that? There are 40,522 high-quality Federal infantry in this battle, and 43,037 high-quality Confederate infantry in this battle. So while you might just look at it and go, man, there's a lot of Confederate infantry that's highly rated. It's like their whole army. I can't beat them. Well, the Federals have just a few thousand less. And not only that, they got 28,709 average quality versus 4,200 for the Confederates, and 30,384 low quality versus 0 for the Confederates. The difference here is just massive when you look at totals of infantry. Now, the overall difference, 52,372. Yeah. So anyways, let's add 10% to the high quality units and subtract 10% from the low quality units. And you're going to see the numbers change there a little bit, and the difference drops from 52,372 to 49,082. A difference of 3,290 men, about 2 brigades. So that's the difference. Now, if you're fighting this battle and your argument is, I can't win this battle because the Confederate ratings are too high and that 10% bonus is just too much, you probably need to reevaluate what you're doing, because you still have a 49,000 man advantage, even with this rule in place, if you're looking at it like I am. The rule just doesn't really alter the playability of the scenarios as far as fire values go or melee modifiers go. And I'm going to keep throwing some more numbers at you. Let's look at the Battle of Gettysburg because it's that one that everyone plays the most. Now there's 8746 high quality Federals and 25,373 high quality Confederates. Now, the number of regiments involved, there are 33 on the Federal side with high quality and 73 on the Confederate side with high quality. You average that out, it's 265 for the Federals and 348 for the Confederates. So now let's look at how many losses will be inflicted by the average high quality units with this rule and without this rule. When they fire offensively, let's just assume that there are no modifiers here, none whatsoever. For the Federals, their average 265 man unit with this rule checked is going to inflict 20 losses on their enemy on average. That means, as I said, no modifiers in place. For the Confederates, their 348 average high quality unit is going to inflict about 26 losses on their opponents each time they fire. Without the rule, it's 18 for the Federals and 23 for the Confederates. Now let's assume that this unit, this average unit that I've just randomly chosen, fires 100 times at the Battle of Gettysburg, which is unlikely for various reasons, but let's say they fire 100 times without ever losing a man in the battle. The extra casualties inflicted over 100 turns using this rule versus not using this rule is 200 for the Federals and 300 for the Confederates. To me, the numbers just don't justify any sort of outcry that this makes the games imbalanced. So now let's look at melee modifiers real quick. Let's just take 450 C-rated men for the Federals, average, versus 800 A-rated men for the Confederates. Now, the probability to win this melee without the modifiers being checked is 55%. If you add 10% to the Confederates because they're A-rated and you use the modifier rule, the probability is boosted all the way up to 63%. Come on, it's 8% difference. It's not a big deal. When you look at these games, you can't get obsessed with the little numbers like this sometimes. If you do, you'll go crazy. So when people argue that these rules help the rebels too much, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my opinion. If you don't like it, put it in the comments down below. It's fine. I'm used to people not liking my opinions sometimes. But to me, this rule helps veteran units on both sides to get credit for being experienced combat units. You could even argue that 10% is actually too low of an arbitrary number to reflect veteran proficiency. I'm not making that argument right now. Maybe someday I will. But 10% you could argue is too low. The two quality modifier rules are justifiable historically, and they make sense from a gaming perspective. They don't throw the games off, they don't make the scenarios unbalanced. Historically, veteran units were more capable fighters than inexperienced units. All of that is not even debatable. So when you're looking at the quality modifiers, when you're ready to select your optional rules, they should always be checked. I mean, if you're playing these games to reenact historical events, you have to check them. Because to not check them is just to completely ignore the fact that veteran units were superior to inexperienced units. So they have to be checked. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like this video. Leave some comments down below. If you agree, disagree, I always like to hear from you. You can also subscribe to A Game in a Chair. When you do that, you'll get notifications of future updates. And remember, you can check out our homepage at acwgc.net for more information. We're always looking for new members, and we always have games going on. Alright, well thank you for watching. I will see you next time, and until then, just keep gaming.